Ooh, what's good, Wizards fans? The Washington Wizards lose to the Celtics at home on St. Patrick's Day weekend, 130 to 104. We're going to recap and let's talk about it.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Just want to thank you guys for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get podcasts. Today's episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedonnba. It's linkedin.com/lockedonnba to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. All right, the Washington Wizards lost to the Celtics, and Brandon and myself are wearing green today. I know it is on St. Patrick's Day. You know, we're not doing it because of the Celtics, of course, but it is ironic. And I was thinking to myself, they should not have scheduled this game. I know the Wizards didn't have any control over it, but they should not have scheduled this game to be a home game against the Celtics on St. Patrick's Day weekend, because that even gave Celtics fans more of a reason to flood the stadium, especially on St. Patrick's Day weekend. But we're going to recap the game here. We're going to talk about the lineup too, the starting lineup. I don't know if you want to start with that first. The Wizards lost 130-104 against the Celtics. They're now 11-57. They gave up probably 35 three-pointers this game. They gave up 24 three-pointers. But I guess, let's start with the recap. And what was your thoughts with the starting lineup? They did not start Johnny Davis, even though Kuzma was out, Tyus Jones was out, Bilal was out, Denny was out, Bagley out still. So many guys out, and Johnny Davis still not inserted into the starting lineup. But what were your thoughts about the game, and any thoughts about the lineup as well?
Well, I wanted to say, did you want to go ahead and knock out the Bulls recap real quick?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I guess
Saturday night.
Just get that first blowout out of the way. Sorry about that. My fault. I forgot
It's
about
all
that
good,
game.
man.
They're just all turning into a blur. All these 30-point losses.
I know, right? Looking at their away game in Chicago, man. I mean, like I said, looking at both the Celtics and the Bulls game, they're very identical. I mean, you know, Rashawn Holmes was back for this game in Chicago, but it really didn't help too much. I mean, rebounding, they out-rebounded us 62-39. Lord have mercy. 12 offensive rebounds to 39. The points in the paint, 68-46. And second chance points, you know, those 12 offensive rebounds ended up being extending the second chance points to 16 points. So again, the same issues, you know, different game, same script. Probably gonna say the same about the Celtics. We lost the battle to rebound. Like I said, Rashawn Holmes, only center on the roster, still waiting on Vucevic come through, and Marvin Bagley III is still dealing with a nagging injury. So looking from an individual standpoint, Jordan Poole got the start at point guard. Tyus Jones was out. He got 13 points, 8 assists. So it's definitely good numbers as far as setting people up, but shot 4 for 12 in the field, 3 for 6 from 3. And I mean, not too shabby, but you know, as far as the shot, you know, I guess the attempts is right around where you want from him as far as being the point guard. Good assist numbers, but looking at the rest of the starting five, Bilal Coulibaly, 15 points, 8 boards, 2 assists, shooting 5 for 9 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3. He shot 4 for 8 from the charity strike. Definitely want to see him get better with the free throws, man, because 4 is just, in my opinion, unacceptable, but not a bad showing from him either. Corey Kispert led all Wizards scores with 16, shooting 6 for 12 and 3 for 6 from 3. So shot 50% from the floor and from 3. Kyle Kuzma, very kind of underwhelming considering we know that, you know, he's a consistent 20-plus points a night scorer, only scoring 11 points, so he definitely cooled down a little bit. Brought his attempts down. I mean, only shot 10 attempts, 5 for 10. So it wouldn't do the foul because he only had 2 personal fouls. So very underwhelming night, 5 boards, 4 assists. So again, not your typical Kyle Kuzma performance because he's a consistent 20-plus a night scorer. And kind of ran out at the starting 5. Rashawn Holmes coming back from injury, 7 points, 4 rebounds, shooting 3 for 8, including a steal. So, and then we're gonna look at the second unit real quick. Solid minutes from the young guys. Obviously, there's a meant to showcase some of these younger guys with the injuries. Champagny, man, 11 points, 7 boards, 3 assists, so shooting 4 for 9. So I really love what I see from him, man. He's been a baller. Jared Butler, 5 points in 21 minutes. Eugene, 17 minutes, shooting 2 for 3 for 7 points, shooting 3 for 6 from the charity strike. So again, definitely want to show up the free throws. And Patrick Baldwin Jr., 6 points in 15 minutes, and Johnny Davis, 5 points in 15 minutes. So again, they won the battle of the boards, and they did whatever they wanted in the paint. We only had one center, so that's just going to be the MO with this team going forward, man. We've been bad at rebounding, terrible at defense, and with the lack of depth at center, it came to really haunt us. So this is, like I said, when it comes to points in the paint and rebounds, especially offensive rebounds for the other team, this is probably going to be the MO for the rest of the year. So it came down to that we lost the battle of rebounds.
Oh yeah, they lost the battle of everything basically. I Dosunmu with a career night. With how much did he have? 30 points. But the start of the game, he had 34 points, 4 threes. The start of the game was really Nikola Vucevic. He had 29 points and 13 boards for the whole game. But that first quarter, I know he had double digits at least, where he was just dominating. They couldn't stop him. Same thing with Andre Drummond. Just both big men. Andre Drummond ended up with 13 points and 9 boards. He almost had a double-double. Vucevic had a double-double. They just couldn't stop the pick and roll at all. Interior defense was terrible. But, I mean, once again, in Kuzma, he was not aggressive at all. He was not his aggressive self. Only 10 shots where he usually gets up, 15 to 20 shots. So that was definitely surprising there to see him not take that many shots. Jordan Poole struggled against the Bulls as well. He had a better night tonight against the Celtics, but last night against the Bulls, he struggled. Bilal, I thought he made a couple good plays, had a nice alley-oop, had another dunk, had a putback dunk. So he was very active and showing off a lot of his athleticism with 15 points and 8 boards. But just from a team standpoint, they just got dominated from start to finish. 51 rebounds for the Bulls, so the Wizards 32. The Bulls shot 8 for 24 from the three-point line, which is not great, but still, they just got a lot of points in the paint. The Bulls had 68 points in the paint to our 46. And, just defensively, they couldn't get any stops. They were dominating the whole game. The largest lead for the Wizards was 1 point. The largest lead for the Bulls was 29. Basically paint defense was atrocious.
Yeah.
Couldn't stop Vucevic, couldn't stop Drummond, couldn't rebound, couldn't get any stops. And then, of course, before the game, Denny was a scratch, or he was out for a knee contusion. So I don't know if they're resting him for the rest of the season, like we saw what happened with guys last year, where they sat Bradley Beal, they sat Kuzma, they sat Porzingis. That last 15 games of the season, they just decided to sit guys. They let Isaiah Todd have that one game at the end of the year. They let Johnny start, Corey start, Jordan Goodwin, and Quentin Jackson. I kind of think that's what they're about to do right now, which is going to be painful, kind of painful to watch, but kind of what is needed, to be honest. Just kind of see what you got in some of these young guys.
Yeah.
But that's what I think is kind of happening. Like, I'm not going to speculate and say that Denny, if it was a playoff game, Denny would have played, but I think they're just starting to slowly do that to start the season. But basically, make a long story short, they just got dominated in every way. Yeah. Dominated by Vucevic and Dosunmu. They had no answer for him either. So they just got blown out. Really from the get-go in that game. I know I think Eugene got into it with somebody again in the Bulls game. I can't remember who, but I know he got into it a little bit, did it again tonight. We'll talk about the Celtics game in a couple minutes. But, I guess I'm trying to think of any positive. I guess Champagnie again. Champagnie's been playing hard. He had 11 points, 3 threes. So that's the only positive I can really come up with from that Bulls game. and like you said, Corey Kispert, he shot the three well.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, man, it's really hard.
And Bilal, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Bilal and Corey Kispert both shined. And like I said, Jordan Poole, first action started at point guard, so it's kind of mixed results. I mean, you definitely want to see the scoring go up, but the assist numbers are right where I love it. I love it as far as assist numbers, it says try to get other people involved. But, I mean, this has just been the script all year long. Different games, same script. We've been abysmal at rebounding all year long. We've been abysmal with defense all year long. I mean, we allowed them to shoot, over 52%. So I mean, they shot high percentage shots, and they beat us how every team beats us, which is attack the paint, ball movement, catch our defense off guard, and then shoot a high percentage shots. So again, the Bulls game was just, we had one center and no effort, and nobody really cares. I think a lot of people on this team are just checked out, man. The vets are waiting for the season to end, and it's really the young guys where you see a lot of the motivation, because now they know they're getting extended minutes and they can showcase what he can do. So, just again, different game, same script. So,
Right, yeah, same game, honestly. But yeah, like I said, the only positives was Bilal and Corey and Champagne, and that's about it. Like you said, Jordan Poole playing point guard didn't play well, played better tonight against Celtics, but
yeah.
for the people who say he has to be a point guard to play better, he's just been inconsistent. Whether he's played point guard, shooting guard, whatever position he's just been super inconsistent. But I'm happy that he played better tonight against the Celtics. But we're gonna get into that game next. But before we do that, tonight's episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. When you're hiring for your small business, you want to find quality professionals that are right for the role. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. Definitely use LinkedIn. When I was looking for a job, I used LinkedIn all the time. So I know a lot of good professionals go to LinkedIn all the time. So it's a great place to use as a hiring tool to find great candidates. There's so many candidates, there's one click apply, so many ways to apply on LinkedIn, so many different categories to go on LinkedIn. So definitely use LinkedIn Jobs to post to find candidates. LinkedIn isn't just another job board. LinkedIn has a vast network of more than 1 billion professionals, which makes it the best place to hire. It gives you access to professionals you can't find anywhere else. LinkedIn does all that while making the process easy and intuitive. Hiring is easy when you have that many quality candidates. So easy, in fact, that 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. LinkedIn knows that small businesses are wearing so many hats and might not have the time or resources to hire. 2.5 small businesses use LinkedIn for hiring. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA. That's linkedin.com/LockedOnNBA to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. All right. As you know, Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel, Locked On Sports Today. Baseball fans, mark your calendars for March 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern for the best MLB season preview coming exclusively to Locked On Sports Today on March 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Be the first to get local insight from the MLB local experts of the Locked On Podcast Network. Find it on March 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern on the Locked On Sports Today 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube for the free Amazon Fire TV channels app. All right, let's transition to the Celtics game. Brandon, what was your thoughts on the Celtics game and also the lineup? Yeah, I know it's funny. And the lineup that they had out there tonight.
I'm gonna say it like I said all year long, man. Different game, same script. I mean, the same issues. Rebounding was an issue. Let me pop over here to team stats. But I mean, looking at the lineup, we've got so many injuries, man. I mean, Tyus is out, Denny is out, Kyle Kuzma is out. But this was a perfect opportunity for a lot of these young guys, a lot of these young bucks to get some really good minutes. So looking at rebounds, our rebound 51-47, not too bad. Offensive rebounds 12-10. We kept them to around 49.4%, so a little over league average for the team wise. But 3-point guidance, man, 48% from three. Cooked us on the perimeter, man. Perimeter defense was definitely an issue tonight. And like I said, they shot 48% from three. So I mean, let's see, points in the paint, 54-36. So again, points in the paint were an issue with Rashawn Holmes, the only center tonight. So looking at the Wizards overall from a personal standpoint, Jordan Poole, man, 31 points tonight, shooting 12 for 19, 3 for 6 from 3, 4 for 5 from the charity strike. So from an offensive standpoint, he was on point. He was efficient, looked good. I mean, shot was hitting. I mean, not a bad night from Jordan Poole. Now, looking at the rest of the starting five, I mean, obviously, Patrick Baldwin Jr. and Justin Shenpenny both getting the start at the 3 and the 4, respectively. And Shenpenny, man, again, another good game, in my opinion. I mean, 36 minutes, but come on from the go-go. Again, they do a good job with getting these guys ready to play for the Wizards and get in, his first career start tonight. So 14 points, 8 boards, 5 shooting 5 for 11 and 2 for 4 from 3. So I felt like he put together quality minutes. Patrick Baldwin Jr., not so much. Now, we said it. Now, 7 boards I'll take. 6 points, 4 assists, shooting 2 for 11, 2 for 7 for 3. So, we said all year long, he's got to find other ways to get involved. When the shot's not dropped, he's got to find other ways. And look, he did, as far as boards, got in there and got rebounds is definitely what I want to see. Get in there and get boards. He got 2 blocks, 1 steal, only 2 turnovers. So he got, he contributed other ways, but I definitely want to see more from Patrick Baldwin Jr. because he's got a lot of potential. And Rashawn Holmes, man, 8 points in 19 minutes, shooting 4 for 6 was 4 boards. Underwhelming, but again, the only center we have on the roster. So you're gonna get what you're gonna get, man. But looking at the second unit, this is why I'm very excited. Because Anthony Gill, our player coach, he put in quality minutes, man. 24 minutes, but 13 points, 4 boards, 3 assists, shooting 5 for 11, 1 for 4 from 3. So Anthony Gill's that vet man that every team needs. He's ready to go when he's called upon, but he's at this point, he's pretty much a player's coach, but it's all good because he looked good. Jules Bernard is another young guy that I really like. In 23 minutes played, 12 points, 4 boards, shooting 5 for 12, 1 for 4 from 3. So Jules Bernard is another guy that I really, really like on the go-go, and I'm definitely looking forward to what he can do these last 14 games. And looking at Jared Butler, 8 points, 6 assists, shooting 36 from the field. So love what I saw from Jared Butler. And everybody wants to hear about Johnny Davis. Let's talk about JD real quick. 22 minutes played. So his minutes went up, 8 points, 4 rebounds, shooting 4 for 7, 0 for 2 for 3. So obviously a 3-point shot is still a work in progress, but he had that one dunk driving through the lane, hitting that one dunk. So all we ask for at this point is just produce when called upon. 22 minutes will take. We were saying that, last couple games, 15 minutes against the Bulls, that's 22 minutes against the Celtics, man. So he's got to perform given minutes because, overall, it still doesn't look like they really have too much love for him, man, because 10th overall pick, you don't give him the start. Now, don't get me twisted, man. I do like Champagny, man, but, you got to give Johnny Davis a start. I don't understand that call. Hate him or love him, you still have to see what you have in Johnny Davis. And like I said, this is year 2. This is that 10th overall pick. You give him the start. You got to give him the start. So it's very, very, I don't even know what to say. Like, they apparently do not have much love for Johnny Davis. I don't know if it's a practice thing. Obviously they don't have really a long-term vision because this was the best opportunity for him to get a start and truly see what he can do with 25, maybe 30 minutes, man. So I'm still scratching my head why he's not getting an extended look. And at this point, it is what it is. I think that he's probably gonna get getting waived, man, because really you can't really include him with a trade because he has no value. So it's sad, it's a whole nother episode. We talk about it for at this point 2 years, man, and it is what it is. He obviously does not have a place long term. So in my opinion, Johnny Davis, given the minutes, you're playing for that contract. Other teams are watching. So even if the Wizards don't have you in high regard as far as the future piece, you're still playing for your next bag. So, continue to work hard, man. So that's pretty much all I got to say.
No, very well said. It just kind of show that they're not investing in him. You brought up practice too. Like, I don't know how he's been in practice. Is there something they don't like what he's doing? Is it the shot? Is it the form? They're the ones working with him on his form. So I don't know what they're seeing behind the scenes or in practice to the point where they just don't even want to start him. I thought it was pretty surprising, but not surprising. They decided to go with Champagny over Johnny Davis, and Kispert plays the 2 as well. But still, it's just like, I think you would put your 10th pick out there and let him start. Champagny had 36 minutes, and Champagny played well. I like Champagny a lot. I thought he earned his minutes tonight. And Johnny had 22 minutes. Pat Baldwin Jr. got more time than Johnny. That's the guy that they traded for. So it's kind of like they have no connection with Johnny. They have no allegiance to him, no loyalty to him. They didn't draft him. So I totally get it, but I do think they should try to give him more opportunities. But I do think it's time, and DC is coming to an end. You brought up the trade scenario too. You look at Killian Hayes with the Pistons, and James Bouknight got waived. Kai Jones got waived for other reasons, but he's back in the NBA now. But it's just an example looking at first-round picks, lottery picks that have just been straight up waived recently because they can't find a team willing to trade for Johnny. So who knows? He may get packaged in the offseason. But, I thought it was interesting, man, especially with no Bilal, no Kuz. No Bilal, no Kuz, no Denny, no Tyus. A lot of guys out, man. A lot of guys out, and they still decided to have him come off the bench and play 23 minutes where, he should really be playing like 30. Like, I keep bringing up the last season where they just threw in the towel. That's probably what they might as well just do right now because they're already eliminated from playoff contention. They might as well just let Johnny play and rock out and just see what you got. They already believe. They already feel like just just his playing time. It looks like they already know what they believe what they have in Johnny Davis, to the point where they're just like, okay, we're gonna play him, but we're gonna give him 20 minutes. So they've already made their decision. It already looks like on Johnny. As far as the game, not much to say about the game. I mean, Sam Hauser looked like. Sam Hauser had 30 points off of all threes. Went 10 for 13 from the field, and they were all 3-pointers. All of them were 3-pointers. Jason Tatum had 17, 16 in the first quarter.
Oh yeah.
He ended up with 30. If he would have played the whole game, probably would have got 50 or 45. Peyton Pritchard put on the show, 14 and 13 assists. Jordan Poole, one of his better games, he shot the ball well. He had a crazy 3-pointer from deep, and Champagne looks good, man. He's continuing to play well. In the 2 games he's played really, really well. 14 points, 8 boards. Anthony Gill had a couple of good moments. 13 points, 4 assists. He did airball a floater, but he bounced back from that. Eugene showed some energy. Didn't shoot the ball well tonight. 0 points. And got into a fight, or not fight, but just a little scrappiness with Jared Springer from the Celtics. And Jared Butler, I thought he played pretty well, getting downhill, 8.6 assists. Jules Bernard played well, 12 points. He ended up getting more minutes than Johnny Davis with 24 minutes. Johnny Davis had 22. Jules Bernard, you just like his aggressiveness, honestly. He didn't shoot the ball well, but he was just aggressive. He looks good getting to the basket on the fast break, transition. He looks confident when he's playing out there. That's one thing I like about him. And then once again, Jordan Poole, he had a bounce back game, 12 for 19, 3 for 6 from the 3-point line, 31 points. So I was happy with the way Jordan Poole played tonight. Of course, defensively, they were just terrible as a team. Overall, letting Sam Hauser get 10 threes, that's just inexcusable. It's just, you got to have pride in your own house. I don't care if you're called up from the G League from yesterday or today or whatever, but you just cannot let that happen. You just can't. You got to have some pride in your own house. And the Celtics shot, they made 24 threes. They almost set a record for franchise threes. And then Sam Hauser was 2 threes away from having the most threes ever made in Capital One Arena. Steph had 11 threes, and Sam Hauser made 10 threes. And Sam Hauser got injured. He didn't play the whole game. He could have played the whole game.
Yeah.
And so that was unfortunate too. Just thinking about that. And they were 20 for 24 from the free throw line. So I'll leave it at that. There's just not much to get into. But Johnny was aggressive towards the end of the game. Put the ball on the floor, got to the basket.
Yeah.
Made some hustle plays. So I do like the effort that he played in. I know Chris Miller on the broadcast was talking about garbage time.
Yeah.
I do want to see him do that a little bit earlier in the game, though. I do want to see him do that earlier rather than the fourth quarter with 5 minutes left and they're down by 35.
Yeah, but I'll say this, E, man. I do, I'm with you, man. We definitely got to give him 25, 30 minutes, see what we really have in Johnny Gill. I thought Jerry LeVert was going to be on the team, man. But
right.
But you got to see what you have in him. But in the same token, if you look at Jules Bernard and if you look at Champagne, man, they're better, man.
They're
just better. And I hate to say that, I really do, but they're just better. It is what it is. At this point, I think it's best for both parties that he gets waived and he finds another organization. Like I said, right now, and that's my advice to Johnny Davis, man. You're still fighting for that next bag. Other teams are watching. So even if, the Wizards don't see you as a future piece, you're playing for that next contract. Still play hard because defensively, he's on point. Obviously he's not a player who's going to blow past anybody, but his footwork showed tonight. He had a good play where he put the ball on the floor and he got in the paint. So, he's got the footwork to play. The speed's not there, but he's got the footwork. But let's not get twisted. Jules Bernard looks better. The same thing with Champagne, man. So it's one of those things. I think that you definitely play for your next contract if I'm Johnny Davis, but I think it's best for both parties, man, that if you just get waived, like you mentioned Kai Jones and James Bouknight. I think that's the best option. I think that's the best decision right now. So I hate to say that, but it is what it is. So we'll go ahead and we'll get into comments real quick, man. But before we do, tonight's episode is brought to you by Stitch Fit. So the instant confidence boost you get from an outfit that makes you look really good, right? That's what I give with Stitch Fit. Because you can easily upgrade your wardrobe this year with a professional stylist that helps you find new on-trend favorites that will work just for you. My stylist always sends me just the right pieces, and the fit is on point. It's like they have a style ESP, right? I don't know how they do it, but they just get me. And if you don't love something, all you have to do is just send it back. Shipping, returns, and exchanges are always free, which is big. So, style that makes you feel as good as you look. Get started today at stitchfit.com/locked-on. That's stitchfit.com/locked-on. stitchfit.com/locked-on. All right.
Yes, sir. Let's get some of these comments. Not many tonight. We'll probably read about 3 of them. Let's see here. Deshaun says our 10th overall pick can't start with the guy we just signed to a 10-day contract. It tells you what this team thinks of Johnny. Must look awful in practice. And Tristan Vukcevic was in the building from what I heard. So hopefully he plays sooner or later. I mean, they need him. They need bodies, especially with all these guys being out. Whether they're just going to shut Denny down for the rest of the season or Kuz and Tyus, which is probably what they should do.
Yeah.
If they're going to do that, then they need to bring in Tristan and let him play.
Yeah, he's taking the time, and let's go get this man a uniform. Let's get this thing cracking, man. Come on now. But I mean, Deshaun hit the nail on the head, man. I mean, 10th overall pick, you gotta give him that start. Like I said, even if you don't love him as a player, which they clearly don't, you still have to give him the opportunity because again, he's playing for that next contract. You know, he's playing for that next place in his career, man. Because I mean, he's year 2, so he's still on his rookie scale. So, because I believe after this year is the team option. So, you know, I think he could play. It's just, you know, I do like it. He's a defensive guy. He's a mid-range guy. He's a guy who, again, he relies a lot on his footwork as opposed to blowing past anybody. It's more finesse. But, I mean, like I said, man, Jules Bernard is just a better player. Champagny is just, there's a talent gap, man. And it's just, this whole situation with Johnny Davis, you can say it's a missed pick because I'm going to go ahead and call it. It's a missed pick. I mean, 10th overall and year 2, he's barely getting minutes. He is who he is as a player. So you just, you know, hopefully he finds an organization and a system that's going to fit him and fit his timeline. And hopefully another organization sees some value and sees the potential. Because I think he has potential. It's just, you know, he's clearly not a future piece here. So it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and speaking of 10-day contracts, Trey Jameson for the Grizzlies, he scored 26 against the Wizards. So, yeah, that's a guy that they signed and had in the building and had on the roster a couple of weeks ago. I know, you know, you don't always keep your 10-day contract guys, but it's just like, you know, a guy we signed on a 10-day is being more impactful, or it's just, he's just kind of gotten used to the game quicker than what Johnny has. You know, Jules Bernard and Champagny guys like that, they just look like they were more comfortable out there. Yeah. And it's concerning. It is concerning. So practice, we don't know. We don't know what happens in practice. You know, I know Brandon's been to a couple practices, but I don't know if you're able to see like 5-on-5 stuff like that. But it must be something that they're seeing behind the scenes that they don't like from Johnny. And Johnny's a good guy, so it's not like the work ethic. We know that's not the case. We know he's working hard, probably in the weight room, doing everything he needs to do, get up shots, get up extra shots, probably doing everything that he needs to do. But he may be not be playing well in practice either. They're just like, hey, I mean, if he's struggling in practice, it's like, you know, we don't want to. We're not going to put him in a rotation like that either. But at the same time, it's like it's the end of the year. Might as well let him give him 30 minutes. Let the guy play. Yeah, I mean, I just think it's best for everybody, man, that he ends up getting weighed. And like I said, it's not against Johnny or his work ethic, man. Because usually when I go to practice, usually it's towards the end, so he's more of a shoot around. And you see him in there working, man. You see him in there working on the shot. It's just I think it's best. I don't know if it's a system thing. I don't know if they just didn't evaluate him right coming out of the draft, because we know that talent evaluation has been an issue with this organization. So it's a mispick at this point, man. It's sad, but it is what it is. Israel Teague said the Wizards might as well suit up G Wiz. I mean, see what you got G Wiz, man. Maybe he could be a big man. I don't know, but at this point, I'm with E. I think that it's best right now for them to sit certain vets and let the young guys play, man. At this point, what could have hurt? You know what I mean? Because we are the worst team in the NBA right now by one game from Detroit. So we're already playing towards that number 1, man. So let's keep this thing rolling. So right. All right. So read one more. Let's see here. We got another joke when he says, at this point, I think Ed and Brandon will start over Johnny Davis. Oh Lord. Wizards Celtics versus the bench. Wizards starters versus Celtics bench equals 40-point ball. Yeah, a lot of it was that. A lot of it was that. This will be one more, and then let's see here. We need to evaluate the talent. This one, we'll talk about that question tomorrow, Dre. Okay, we'll talk about that one.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, actually, we'll probably wrap it up here, and then we'll answer some questions tomorrow. That's what we're gonna do, guys. We'll wrap it up here. Thank you guys for tuning in and making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you guys get podcasts. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit the notification bell, and hell to the Wizards. Peace.